Hey everybody, Ryan here, coming to you from not SB's gym, but SB's living room, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about, I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened last weekend. We did the Fit to Fight Arm Wrestling League inaugural event, and I was the head referee for the entire event, and I got to witness three pretty good super matches, and quickly touch on those super matches. Neil and Joel, as advertised, very evenly matched. Neil wins one arm, Joel wins the other. Fraser wins his match with Kane, both arms, and Fraser showed a great deal of patience and ended up sweeping both of those super matches. And then we had Matt and Tyrell, and most of us already know that Matt took those, and he took those fairly handily. And once he got comfortable, those matches became pretty easy to set up, and Matt was fairly dominant in those matches. I won't talk too much more about those, but what I do want to talk about is the state of arm wrestling from a refereeing perspective. Now, there's a few problems that are happening here. Guys showing up to events, and I want to criticize coaches first of all, because they're showing up to these events and they don't seem to know what the rules are. And they come to these events and they've either been to a ton of tournaments that have very poor, relaxed refereeing, or they just don't know. And they come to these events and they're confused when they start getting commands and start getting called on warnings and fouls on things that they may never have experienced or run into before. And this is a real problem. And coaches, it's your job not to just get guys on the table and make them strong. You're supposed to be teaching them what they need to know, and the difference between going to a tournament in a local bar and going to a tournament that is rigid CAWF rules. Now, I was criticized over the weekend of being very strict, not letting anything go, but there's probably a good 30 plus more things that I could have called throughout that day. For example, someone that's been to a national championship coming to a tournament and saying they don't know how to, they've never been in a referee's grip. They don't know what to do. And then looking really confused when they're moving and they're getting called on fouls. So coaches, train your arm wrestlers to know the rules and tell them what to expect when they go to events. If you're training with someone who's calling themselves a coach and they've never been to a nationals or world championship and they can't tell you that, find a new coach. It's frustrating from a referee perspective too, because I don't need some guy with an attitude telling me that I don't know what I'm doing because he's never experienced it before. So moving into my next little rant about refereeing, when you're a competitor and you come up to the arm wrestling table, now I've got 2 points on this. The first one is, if you've pulled a guy 75 times and he has done something to you in that match that has given him an advantage and you think it's unfair, when do you think the right time is to bring that up? Do you think you should talk to the referee ahead of time, like when you're getting to the table and you start gripping up? Or should you scream it in the referee's face when the match is over? If you have any sense whatsoever, obviously the right answer is you should probably tell the referee as you're gripping up. Yelling it at the referee after the fact, when he obviously did not see it, is not going to solve anything. That exact thing happened to me. A competitor turned to me and said, he does this every time, and this happened to be getting a little bit of bend in his wrist. Let me tell you something. I arm wrestled John Brzezinski in a super match, and I said to the referee, watch just for this before they go. That's all I wanted the referee to do. If I can say that about John, surely you can say that about the guy across the table from you. John is the arm wrestling guy. He is as close to royalty as we get in this sport. If I can say that about him, surely your local competitor that's done that to you 100 times in the past, you can tell the referee that. And when it doesn't get called, don't bitch at the referee because you didn't get a fair arm wrestling match. When you're refereeing for 10 hours without a break, things are going to get missed. Which brings me to my next point. When I'm telling a competitor, and this is about competitors, learn the rules. When I'm telling you under CAWF and WAF rules to do something, and then I tell you again, And then I tell you again, well, I've already told you one too many times, maybe two too many times. So when I give you a warning for failure to set up, failure to follow my commands, or if I've told you 3 times, you correct it, and throughout the course of me setting up the rest of that match, you do it again, for example, keeping your shoulders square to the table, don't get mad at the referee when you get called. And certainly, if you're that same guy, don't stand on the side and criticize everything else that referee does. It is the hardest job in arm wrestling, is to be a referee, because everyone is trying to cheat their ass off and get an advantage. Everyone is. Things sometimes get missed. I don't think much stuff did get missed over last Saturday, but guys don't know the damn rules. So if a guy is moving his shoulders all over the place and he's getting progressive warnings, when you get your second warning, it is a foul. And then you move in the referee's grip and you get fouled out. Whose fault is that? Yeah, somebody moved in a referee's grip and it cost them $500. That movement in the referee's grip, just this, cost somebody $500 last Saturday. Do I feel bad about that? Yeah, I do. I do feel bad about that. But I've got a job to do. And so do you. And you're not doing it. And your buddy's standing on the side where the movement is happening behind my hand, yelling at me, what kind of bullshit call is that, ref? Well, those guys need to be put in check too. So I will tell you that I'm going to take a hiatus from refereeing because it's not worth the stress. And there's actually more money in doing the arm wrestling part of it than refereeing. And next time you guys are at a tournament, make sure you thank your referees, because if without them, if you when they get fed up with you and they decide they don't want to do this anymore, who's going to do it? Where's arm wrestling going to be? And good refs are hard to find. You can find bad referees around every street corner. You can find bad referees anywhere. Anybody can put on the striped shirt and act like they know what they're doing. Are you going to be more happy when the rules are strict, or are you going to be more happy when you guys just kind of grip up and go for it? Because somebody is going to be better than you at cheating, and they're going to beat you. And what excuse are you going to have? That's all I have to say about that, you guys. I will warn you that if you thought I was tough, wait till you get to the Nationals and wait till you get to the World Championships, if you can get there. Talk to you guys next time.